Um, Honestly, I was really young. I was 6 years old. My
Mhm.
dad was an artist. Like he used to paint, and he's colorblind. So I would stay up
Oh.
late and like mix the colors
Oh my
and help him
gosh.
with the colors. And he just taught me like how to paint from there,
Okay.
and just kept going. I think it came from going to galleries here, maybe I want to say now 13 or 14 years ago,
Mhm.
and seeing not what I wanted to see in art reflected. And I think the only way to like make that change is to add your own voice to it. So when I realized that I was seeing a lot of portraiture that involved like Black day-to-day life, but it really wasn't by people who I felt like were representative of that, then I was like, oh, I want to add my spin to it. It kind of just happened. Like when I was in Art 5 many years ago, I thought about like what it would be like to add more texture to things. I think I was told there was maybe one way to add texture to a piece, and that would be through shading and lighting and all these things. And I was just like, well, what if I actually just started utilizing textures in the pieces? And so that's how I started using like different fibers and glitter and different, I don't know, like beads and things like that to create these like three-dimensional pieces.
What's been one of your like favorite, I guess, non-conventional media to use?
Glitter, because everybody hates glitter except for me.
I love it.
Honestly, I feel like my process kind of just starts with me having a general idea or having a muse rather, and taking that muse through the story. And usually the story I'm trying to tell will involve the muse in some way. Right now, a lot of my work is representative of Black queer culture. So I'm doing like a queer prom series, and with that, the process has been very new because I'm a painter primarily who, since being involved with Biz Arts, has had opportunity to learn a lot of different mediums that I wouldn't have normally had access to without this space, like screen printing and like sewing and things of that nature. So when I started the Queer Prom series, I learned how to sew here in March.
Oh, wow.
And so now all of the pieces are sewn together in a way, and I'm screen printing on the fiber.
Okay.
And I think the biggest challenge has just been being okay with the process, not getting the gratification so quickly.
Sure. Does kind of the transition to a different medium, does that make you miss painting, or is it nice to have a change of pace?
It's nice to have a change of pace because I've been painting for so long, but I also feel like it's the same materials, just used in a different way. Like I was always adding fabric to paintings, like even behind you, like that piece is faux fur and that's a wood cutout and stuff like that. So I've always used fabrics and fibers in the work. I just never had sewn them before.
Okay.
So now it's like, okay, this part of my work is coming back, but in a different way. It happened by accident. If I had to be honest, it was one of those things where you get an offer to do a thing and you can't say no. I had just quit a job I was working, and I sold a painting to a guy. I want to say it was in 2018, and then fast forward to 2023, I get a DM from this guy, and I did not know that he was a U.S. diplomat. And he was like, the embassy is looking for an artist to go to Cuba and do like a mural. Would you be interested in doing this project? And I was like, I've never done a mural, but I was like, you can't say no to going to Cuba and doing a mural. So that's kind of how I got into it. And from there, I did a couple of other murals. Like I did 6 at VCU for the Mary Frances Youth Center, and I did one in Carytown. And so I've been doing them a little bit more since then.
Okay, is that something you think you want to pursue more in the future?
I would totally do them. They're fun. They're huge.
Yeah.
Like it's fun, and it's really a good way to be involved with the community because different people can help you with it, and it's usually reflective of what's going on in the community, so that the people there can appreciate it. So
sure.
And also, it can say a really powerful message, really large.
Yeah, of course. What's your process like for a mural versus like one of your paintings?
I think I attacked it the same way as a painting. I just thought of it gigantic.
Yeah.
Because like the first mural I did was 20 feet. So it was like, okay, it's this thing that I started sketching based off of an idea I had about like Black queerness at its highest form. I said, what would that look like? And then now imagine it plastered on the walls. So similar process.
Gotcha.
I think it's just mostly a feeling. It's mostly a feeling. Like I look at something and I'm just like, you know what? dead center, I feel like it's the most striking for me.
Sure.
So when I have people come and we take the pictures, I'm always like, actually, like I'll do like 3/4. I do like a weird 3/4 moment, even though when you're drawing the face, you lose a little bit of it underneath the eye. And to some people it looks weird because, again, I don't add the shading or whatever to make that part look like someone's turned. But I like the flatness of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just like the strikingness of someone looking dead into the person. The gaze is more like, it's easier for me to connect with. So I think it's easier for the viewers too. I hope that the viewers gain a level of empathy when looking at my work. I feel like I'm making things or telling stories that maybe some people can relate to, some people can't. And I think when someone comes to the work and maybe they don't understand what's going on, they leave with an understanding of something they didn't know about. And if they don't see a reflection of themselves, they see a reflection of someone they do care about in their life, or they just go, wow, this mirrors something in my life. I feel like everything is a mirror of each other. So when people come to the work and they see it, I want them to leave feeling that reflection of self in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's not just based on like face value, but even just content.
Okay, I love that.
Oh my gosh, people that I know are mostly like my friends, my family, my partner. Like you'll see them pop up in my work all the time. And right now, a lot of friends are in it. Like this piece that's up is a friend of mine who this is turning into a quilt, but in my painting style, which is crazy because I didn't think I would merge the two in that way, but it's happening.
I love it.
And then that's another friend who I met when I used to work in an art gallery, and we've just been friends ever since. And so I just kind of hit up my friends like, hey, I have this idea. Do you want to do this thing? And they're like, sure, why not?
Love it.
I don't know. I feel like it's full of challenges. I think just finding the balance, you know what I mean, between pursuing something because you're passionate about it and also trying to live everyday life in a society that's ruled by capitalism, and just being like, working feels like, dang, I'm working because I have to survive, but art feels like it just fuels your purpose for living. So it's like balancing those two things feels like the hardest thing.
Yeah, I can see that. And has now, I guess, since, I mean, it seems like art has become a very like everyday constant thing for you. Would you say you still get the same joy from creating it, even though it might be more like a job?
Yes, I do. I think it's one of those things where you have to find new ways to keep it fun for you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, everything I make is for me. So it's just like, well, you know, granted it is kind of a job, but I feel like it's more my job to be honest with myself through the work I'm making. And then everything else, whether it's this or that, it'll come when it comes. If it never comes, at least I got to be fulfilled in making things that felt honest to me. For me, the balance was more so once I was able to be vulnerable with myself, I realized that so many people I knew had also had the same feeling. And it's weird when you have a feeling that it's such a wide shared experience, right? Because then you're like, we all felt this way and nobody's talking about it. And so then you do research on the thing and you're like, dang, maybe people do talk about it. So you find things to read, or you find songs about it, or you see other people maybe have made a Facebook post about it. And so I started reaching into our community and just kind of having conversations to see if folks would be able to be vulnerable with me. And that is something that kind of happened naturally, because people were like, oh, this is something that I feel like it's important, and I want people who are coming up behind us to see that you should celebrate where you are, no matter who you are, at any time. You should be able to celebrate that at a pivotal moment, like prom.
Yeah, of course.
I'm excited about all of it. I think I'm most excited to get more deeper into the stories I'm telling. I think it's going to be really fun to see what happens with the fiber as it progresses, because like I said, I've only been sewing since March. I'm trying to learn more about fabric dyeing and like surface making on top of the fabric and things like that. So instead of using a store-bought pattern, creating my own, I'm just seeing where that'll go. I think my main advice would just be to keep making stuff that you want to make. Like, don't make work for the internet. Don't make work for the algorithm. Don't make work for vending market or whatever. Like, just make work that speaks to you, and whatever's gonna come for you is already yours.